Howdy, partners, and welcome, everybody. This is your friendly neighborhood ghost, and today I'm bringing you another Jonah Hex video. I just got issue 50 today in the mail, and today I'm going to be doing a review on it, because as I have referred to in the past two videos that I've done about the Jonah Hex comic character, this is a very significant story in the Gray and Palmiotti run because of an event that happens to Jonah's lover, friend, and confidant, Tallulah Black. Events that will change their relationship moving forward, and events that carry all the way to the end of the series with issue 70. But before we get into that little bit, a quick backstory. So putting these aside real quick, although we will dedicate the rest of this video to this, I'm just providing some context for you. Tallulah Black first appeared in this Jonah Hex story in issue 16 with this is a tragic beginning. A lot of her siblings and family were killed and gunned down. She was shot in the side of the face in the struggle because she went to go fight as well. And time passes. She works as a lady of the evening, and one of the guys that shot her family sees her. She was wearing an eye patch by this point, and he basically carves up and mutilates her face. And that's how we know that her face is all marked up, is because of what he did to her. She seeks out Jonah Hex for revenge, to have him help her hunt down the men that hurt her and her family. And that story picks up in issue 17. She does indeed end up getting her revenge, and that's how she ends up becoming a bounty hunter ever since. Now, I don't know how many more issues she appears after 17, because I haven't read the rest of them after that. What I do know is that she appears in the Six Gun War arc in issues 44 through 49. She has a role to play in this one, and that's the two big chunks until we get to this one. Now, there is a few grisly moments in this story, so I would highly recommend for younger audiences to not read this. This is definitely a mature title. And of course, it's been out for a number of years by this point, so it's like, but it is what it is. Just fair warning, I will be doing a full coverage of this book here, so we shall get started in 3, 2, 1, now. Alright, we will get this book opened and get started. The title of this book is called The Great Silence. We have an action scene with Jonah Hex. The interior art is wonderfully done by the artist, the late, great Darwin Cook, who most people will know from the DC The New Frontier comic. Here we have Tallulah Black in Darwin Cook's distinctive art style. You'll see it with the faces. They, of course, share the night together, like they always do. Of course, we obviously know implied that they have sex, but obviously we don't see it. Moving the ads. Cock crows in the morning to wake them all up. Of course, Tallulah leaves, and basically, like, it wakes up and gone. He's like, here's your pants, Mr. Hex. She snuck out at dawn, rode west. I figure you finally put the spurs to that filly. Of course, Hex doesn't take too kindly of that, and he's like, that damn crazy woman. And the dog is funny, even pees on this guy's hat, because I guess the dog wasn't even that happy with him either. So, as we know so far, Tallulah has left after her one night special with Jonah. Sorry for putting it that way, but they basically have an on again, off again affair. They aren't in a committed relationship, but they just spend a lot of time together. Let's just put it that way. And so our next bits here, of course, Jonah gets another job, gets a bounty hunter. I find it fun here with the blue shirt, the white hat, and red ascot, and maybe even the pants. I feel like this could be an homage to the Lone Ranger, maybe. Maybe I'm just looking too much into it, but that's how I see, because there's again, just going off of the design here. Anyway, Jonah Hex is then tasked with basically hunting a bunch of people for bounty hunting missions. We have a really funny panel here. He has a cannon set in front of a guy here while he's out on the toilet. You can tell this is going to be a problem. Well, the rest of the story, we have a next scene here with Tallulah. She comes into town. People are surprised to see, who is this girl? What is she doing here? And she initially asks for just something innocuous. It's like, where can I find some clothes? And then they have this dialogue going on back and forth. And he's like, I'm not going to cause you any problems, Sheriff, but you should know who I am. And he's like, I know. It's like, I'm here to settle down. And to quote her line from her book, I'm running away from everything and everybody I know. Ain't nobody chasing me neither. I'm just running till I can't see my past around every corner. This looks like a nice town full of nice folk with an overprotective sheriff, and that suits me. And because she even says earlier, he's like, oh, you must be here for a job. And it's just like, I ain't here for trouble, a bounty, or to kill anybody. And so he finally relents and helps her out. And again, we're still catching up with the story of Jonah when he's out doing his job. And of course, and it's like we don't obviously see it written on panel, but this is like a time skip, and months pass while we're here, because we find out that, of course, we see Tallulah has changed her attire until we find out how. Turns out from her one night with Jonah resulted in her getting pregnant. So as guilt charge, I stress the importance of you need to have a proper home for your child. You're a good man. I told you I look out for my town. And he's basically helping her set up and build a house. And he's like, good afternoon, Abigail. It's like, won't be long now. And it's like, the Lord told me about this child. It's like, now, Miss Mondale. It's like, you touch my belly, I'll kick your ass all the way to the Lord. It's like, best get back to the dress shop. I expect Susan's waiting for those fabrics. Blessing on you, Sheriff. May the Lord protect you. So she works at the dress shop with fabric material. I was like, that woman ain't right in the head. He's like, Abigail's harmless. Now let's see what we could do about that lumber. And so we have a couple panels for montages with how building the house. I've read this a little bit before. Starting this video. So basically the process took a whole year. Spring, fall, or summer, fall, autumn, and then so they're done by winter. So I'm guessing maybe December or January. So basically the pregnancy has probably progressed during that full time. And meanwhile, Jonah Hex is still on the hunt for those men and a mission. He doesn't know anything about her being pregnant or having his child. He's like, that damn stubborn woman, you're having this baby even with a proper doctor, even if we have to drag you out here. He's like, what is she doing here? Abigail's offered to help. She's done a piece of midwifing in her day. It's like, I don't care if she helped deliver the baby Jesus, I don't want her touching me. Meanwhile, she mutters under her breath, heathen. So basically, trouble has come to Silver Springs, which is why Jonah Hex is here. All the men he's after is in this town. So that, of course, puts him in contact with Tallulah, the damn raiding party. It's judgment come to pass upon us all. Abigail, get her inside and take care of the baby. It's like, hell no, you get me a gun. Meanwhile, the sheriff tries to go give her bide some time and to protect her while they get inside. It's like, damn it, John, you're outgunned. And she's like, damnation is forthcoming. It's like, I'm sorry, sheriff. And then he basically kills the sheriff. And she's like, bastards, I'll kill you. Sins of the flesh. Basically, this woman has it out for Tallulah just because she is different. And obviously we see how that happens. It's like, bitch, I'm gonna hurt you. And she's like, you'll do nothing of that sort. Speaking of guts, let's see what the... So needless to say, Tallulah does not take too kindly about having her and her child being threatened, and so she fights back for a little bit. And then she basically uses God as a religion, as a justification to hurt her just because of her being different. And she's like, Digger, me, it appears your water broke. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. She basically cuts her open. And then that crying, of course we know, is the baby. And she takes off with the child. This is a scene we have here. It's kind of a callback to issue 70. The child we see is in heaven, which goes to show the child we meet in, I don't know if it's a dream sequence or whatever, in issue 70 is supposed to be the child of Tallulah and Jonah Hex. Who are you? Mind the woods. There's a bad man out there. Of course, he carries her back. And she's like, you scared death away again. And then he's like, you ain't gonna say anything after all we've been through. He's basically like, after all we've been through, he's like, you hid this from me. Like, why'd you not tell me anything? It's like, and she says, I didn't know what else to do, Jonah. I thought if I gave it all up, he's like, I could live a normal life for myself and the baby. In your heart, you know what I did was right. You wouldn't have wanted it anyway. And he responds in a very sensible fashion. It's like, I was never offered an option. So this goes to show, like, maybe he would have wanted to be there for her and the baby. Maybe he would have wanted to see the child. And she's like, I wasn't looking for you, Tallulah. I always figured we'd meet up again. And this is the part that stands out the most to me. This turn of events has soured me on us. I'll save the child, but from here on out, we're done as friends and lovers. So basically, he's gone and left her after this because she hid his child from her in all this. She made she basically had a decent justification, I believe, but also at the same time, I have to side with Hex as well. It's like, you never told me about the kid. It's like, I would have wanted to be involved. At least that's how it sounds like he's trying to be. So anyway, he has a justification to go after the woman. Stolen, it's like from the belly, you seen her? And basically we find out time passes, he has to go track down the woman. He finally finds out where she's at. Is like, theft of the child from its mother. Your child? And he's like, what the hell do you think? And he's like, he doesn't give him a response, but it's like, okay. And then, of course, the woman's been locked up. And he's like, where's the child? It's like, she is dead. And basically, this woman is using all religious and going and like basically just going off on Jonah. And he's basically not having any of it. And she's like, that unholy spawn is dead. It's like, I knew that woman hid the devil in her behind the eye patch, I reckon. It's like, it must have happened on the train. The passengers noticed the child never cried. They had her in the car. And so we're going to trial. And he just softly says, trial? It's like, easy, mister. I know it was your child. And she's like, laughs at him and basically calls him the son of Satan or a hell spawn and all of that. So basically, like, she's hiding behind religion as an excuse for what she did. It's like, I knew she was with child even before it showed in her belly, because that's what the Lord said to me. The Lord spoke, and he said the child was evil. I seen her came into town. She wore all black and had a big gun and that ugly face of hers. On that day the child was born, the killers came and drove everyone out of town and murdered many of them. It's just like, he has the devil in him, sheriff. I fear not, for the Lord is with me. And he's basically like being a justified father. It's like, I'm going to take action against this woman. She murdered my infant child. But the sheriff is trying to say, it's like, don't do that. She will hang tomorrow. I promise you that. We have a sworn testimony from over a dozen witnesses. And he's like, but what am I going to tell that mother? And it's like the Lord's justice. And he shoots at it, and it's like it misses. And it's like, I told you the Lord watches over me, demon. He's like, enough with this. And finally Hex asks, like, was the child a boy or a girl? And then they lower their pistols. And the sheriff replies, it was a little girl. I make my rounds. Takes me the better part of an hour. Be gone by the time I get back. And he's like, dear God, help me. He's like, there ain't no Lord here. There's just the devil. And he kills her. Again, I can sympathize with what he's doing. He is justifiably upset and angry over the loss of his child. And this is the rest of the outlaws that went after and attacked Silver Springs. They're all still here. Jonah Hex blows them up, killing all of them. And again, we get this really just awesome, like, art and this gun, like this sequence all with all this gunfire and chaos. And he's like, aw, hell, it's like goodbye. And he just mows everyone down. This really nice full-page spread of Jonah Hex. And he says, all 50, it's like 50. So that tells me, like, there's 50 men that were killed there. He's like, you never know what you'll get. And I guess sounds like there's you see Jonah Hex at the top panel there, lowering a casket down. We see Tallulah there. I guess, she's reading for something, maybe a Bible or something, I don't know. Jonah Hex leaves. She looks down. It's the coffin for her baby. Maybe the baby is inside it, I don't know. But anyway, you can see she's really just obviously like, she's beside herself and mourning the death of her child. And that's really the end of the issue. It was a really powerful moment for Tallulah and had an impact on her and Jonah's relationship moving forward. Again, I've only read issue 51, and that's as far as I've read, so I don't know what happens between them or if he sees her again until then, but obviously we do know that he does partially see her again, because we see the child in issue 70, which I will show you again. And we see the child again appear in a dream sequence, this time to the child. It's like, she's like, hi, Daddy. It's like, who are you? Do I know you? I never did get a name. Would you name me? It's like, I don't like this. And we see him young again as he gets up. Like, I brought you something. It's your favorite. I don't think you want to know. But yeah. Basically, Jonah Hex is dreaming. He sees the child. Of course, we know it's symbolic. The child's face. Half Jonah. Half Tallulah. The hearts is really weird. It's she carries around the hearts and buries them in the ground. Just so I understand why I carry these. They belong to Mei Ling, the mother who sired Jason Hex. White Fawn, the Native American woman Jonah loved, but never got to be with. And the other heart is Tallulah. They don't work anymore. You broke them. Can you fix them? And then after that, it's that's just kind of how it ends from there. He has a meeting with Tallulah. He shows the scars from where that woman cut her open. And that's just kind of like, we get an ending with the book. But yet, again, like I showed in the previous video, I guess maybe they make up at the end, I guess. Because in the end, we see a child there. So is it debatable as like, is this the afterlife? Or is this real? We don't know. But anyway, that's sort of issue 50 here. I hope you guys liked this video. And to stay up to date on more videos on Jonah Hex, be sure to subscribe and turn that bell notification on to all. And until then, I will see you all partners next time. Take care, and goodbye for now.